Join us on Geek Blood, the show you can't ignore. Wayne and Kevin diving deep into all things galore. Comic book, movie, sci-fi, and action thrill. Reviewing new TV shows, we keep it real, real. Reminiscing the attitude era, wrestling at its peak. Nostalgia from the 80s and 90s, memories we seek. Pineapples for our rings, a unique touch. Geek culture in our blood, we love it so much. Geek Blood forever, we love it so much. Geek Blood, where we talk about it all, from superheroes to wrestlers. We stand tall, Ray and Kevin, the dynamic duo in sight. Geek Blood, shining bright, shining bright. Did you hear about Pluto? That's messed up, right? Geek Blood, taking you on a nostalgia flight. From movies to TV, we cover it all. Join us every week, we'll have a ball. Shuffle.
Hey, what's going
How's it
on?
going? Not much, man.
Doing good.
Good.
Doing good. Gonna start the show off with talking about what everyone on the internet seems to be talking about today. The Peacemaker Season 2 finale. For better and worse, what they're talking about. Not just the Snyder Group. It seems like the whole entire internet has unified in saying that it under-delivered.
I mean,
especially the overhype of what James Gunn was.
Here's the
hyping.
thing about James Gunn is just don't take any of the hype he gives for anything seriously. Like, haven't we
Right.
been through this with everything?
Yeah, Superman
obviously
was
he's
the
gonna
same
hype
way.
this shit
We
up,
talked about it.
like,
Yeah.
Like he's done this with everything. Going back
Yep.
to when he first took over and The Flash hadn't come out yet. So yeah, I don't really.
Yeah,
I mean, I think he likes trolling also.
Yes.
I do think he's kind of a man-child in that regard, and people just take it as fact whatever he says. But yeah, I enjoyed it.
I did too.
enjoyed it.
Emotionally, you talk about the whole season as a whole. Told a great story of Peacemaker and Amelia Harcourt. And it ended off in a great cliffhanger, which he's being very coy about and saying where it's going to continue. But we'll get into that in a minute.
Yep.
What this episode opened up for the DCU going forward. Of course, we knew that they were going to be checking out all these other doors in the quantum unfolding chamber. And as everyone's getting picked off one by one, they go into this world where there's imps that are killing. They kill, I can't remember the guy's name. They kill one of the members of Flurry's group. Rip his face to shreds. And they're slowly going through every universe. There's one great universe with zombies. I'd love to see another exploration of that universe. There's just a ton here that we're getting glimpses of that I want to see more of, including Earth X, which everybody's talked about then. But we do see the one universe that they're looking for, and they name it Salvation, coming straight out of the comic books. We'll get into that at the end, but they're looking. We find out that Rick Flag Sr., his whole task of sending everybody in Argus to find another universe, another door, is they want to have a multiversal metahuman prison because of everything that happened in Superman, that everything that's happened with John Cena and Peacemaker. He's just had enough with heroes. He's had enough with villains. He wants to have a prison off-world that nobody can get out of, and he's found this in what seems to be Salvation. And we'll get into that in a little bit, but it's all led by Rick Flag Sr. under the watchful eye of Lex Luthor, by the way, which was set up 2 episodes ago, and all of his cronies are in this episode. Otis and Happerston, all in this episode, leading the charge. And we finally see the boat. that's been teased this whole entire season with John Cena and Harcourt and Peacemaker and Harcourt. And we see 3 weeks prior, where there's a Nelson reunion. Nelson is a band from the 80s, early 90s. But they have a reunion. They're there, and that's where Peacemaker and Harcourt have their first kiss. And you can tell by the look in their eyes, and especially Harcourt, that it freaked her the fuck out, and she runs away. And they never talk about it up until the finale. And John Cena has been trying to get an answer from her. Did it mean anything to you? This kiss, now we know it's a kiss. Did this mean anything to you? And by the end, we find out it did mean something to her. It meant everything to her, in her words. Right before John Cena's taken from us. But they end up, at the end of the episode, everything happens. John Cena gets released from prison. They end up taking all of Vigilante's drug money. And number one, they post bail on Peacemaker, get him out of prison, and they take all of that money, all that tainted drug money, and they start up Checkmate, a brand new company, brings all this 11th Street kids in, and adds in Sasha Bordeaux, who now sees what Rick Flag Sr. is doing and is very scared of him because she is a metahuman. And now that she knows that he's creating this multiversal prison, she wants nothing to do with that. So she joins forces with the 11th Street kids, joins Checkmate with Langston Fury, who also saw his whole entire crew getting demolished going into every universe. So he joins them, as well as Judo Master, who's joined a friendship with Adebayo in this last couple of episodes. So he's joined there as well. And they open up Checkmate, which is something out of the comics. It's basically where Sasha Bordeaux got her start. Started in, I believe, 1988, 1986, right around the time Charlton came in, right around Infinite Crisis, Crisis on Infinite Earths. So at that time, you had some of the Charlton characters. I know Peacemaker was a part of it. You had Sasha Bordeaux more recently. I know some Suicide Squad members that have been in James Gunn movies are part of the group later on as well, including Deadshot and Bloodsport. I know there's a lot of connections. There's also Green Lantern, as you can see in the book there, and Amanda Waller is a big part of this as well. And I believe they call her the Queen because Checkmate is all about the chessboard, pretty much.
I have a feeling that the Waller show got turned into possibly a Checkmate show.
Checkmate series. And that's why he's being, that's my theory too, of why he's being so coy about a Peacemaker season 3 is because I believe we're going to get Checkmate.
Right.
And I don't think John Cena is going to be playing a big part, but I think John Cena will be the reason that Checkmate's going to be a new season to try to find John Cena.
Yeah, I think so too. I think he'll be
Yep.
searching for John Cena. And I think that's what the Waller show turned into. So we'll see.
So, yeah, that's exactly what happened at the end of this episode. John Cena, they all start this brand new Checkmate, and John Cena wakes up out of bed being kidnapped by Rick Flag Sr. And he's sent to Salvation, and he's like, this is for Ricky, and sends him there and locks the door so he has no way of getting out. And right before the credits roll, you hear this big roar coming out of the woods of Salvation. Salvation, what it looks like a field on Earth. That's all you've seen so far of this planet. It looks like Earth, but you hear this gigantic roar coming out of the woods right as John Cena is locked in there by Rick Flag Sr. So sets up him being lost somewhere in the multiverse in a multiversal prison. In the comic books, this is pretty much right straight out of the comic book run. I don't know if you knew anything about this before Salvation Run.
I had heard of it. I never read it though.
They brought a whole. Well, if you've gone on Amazon today, it's sold out overnight. You kind of figure if something like that happens, a limited run like this, not too popular, would sell out to me. I think they're like $100 now.
That's how I take the whole when they talk about like one of the movies not being moved forward. I'm like, well, James Gunn basically just got everyone to buy a bunch of Authority comics, and now he's not even doing the movie. When he announced everything, all those books sold out too, so it's no surprise there. Especially like you said, very limited run. Amazon probably didn't have a lot in stock, to be honest.
No, they didn't.
So.
Exact quote of what he did at the end: "I'm leaving Chris stranded on planet Salvation, and that's going to be a very, very important thing leading us into the DCU." This is the big thing that he's talking about going forward. This is going to mean a lot in the movies, TV shows, everything in DCU going forward. there is a metahuman, almost like a metahuman war is what it seems like is going to be going to be happening. Yeah, that's crazy. And Salvation Run, as you can see, they pitted Joker versus Lex Luthor. They put a whole bunch of other villains in Batman Rogue Gallery, Superman's Gallery. They put a whole bunch of them into this world. It's off planet somewhere in the multiverse. And they set them all there, and they end up having factions going against each other. I think it was like a 8-issue run or something. I can't remember, but happened in like 2008. But Salvation Run tells a story of how Argus and Checkmate look to tackle the problem of superhuman prisoners once and for all. Instead of imprisoning them, they teleport them to a distant, hostile, and into another planet to leave them there permanently. Several villains are split into 2 groups, led by Joker and Lex Luthor, to search for escape from this world. In the end, in the comic book run, it's revealed that this planet is part of the Dark Side Empire, giving way to Final Crisis, which was written by Grant Morrison. That's what I found online about this whole story. And we know that this is all leading to a big, bad movie of some sort, crossover, Justice League, whatever you want to call it, Gods and Monsters. I believe this is probably the catalyst of what he wanted, how he wanted to start that. If Darkseid is connected to this, like the comic books, it'd be interesting to see. But obviously, it looks like
ruffle
Earth.
some feathers.
It would, yeah.
This soon,
Especially
but I'm
Snyder,
here for it.
yeah.
I mean, why not? It's still probably down the line a few years still, but yeah, I can't believe we're a year into the DCU now, basically.
Yeah, we are.
Kind of crazy. It's gonna be. I'm really looking forward to seeing non-James Gunn projects as much as I like them. It'll be nice to see a different tone.
The next year we'll see a bigger glimpse of the world,
and that'll be where they decide to redo his contract or not, which I'm sure we'll get to in the news.
I don't have it, but we can talk about it in a minute.
Okay.
But the internet has gone crazy overnight.
Yes.
A lot of people are saying that under delivered, because a lot of people expected to see Superman, or we talked about all the speculations going into this episode of what we were gonna see, just because of the hype that he was overdoing. But like you said, it's James Gunn, and you're gonna take that with a grain of salt anyway.
And also, if we got these cameos that everyone was suggesting, then the same people would hate on the show for giving us cameos because of James Gunn's cameo porn comments. So it's just the internet these days. You just can't win, basically.
No.
Overall, I enjoyed it. First 3 projects, I think the DCU's off to a good start. I'd give it probably a solid 7.5 or 8 out of 10. Probably
that's exactly where I'm at right now. Yeah.
But a great start.
Overall.
I'm really looking forward to getting non-James Gunn stuff though. As much as I like his stuff, it'll be nice to see some other creatives put their touch on the DC.
So in the next year, we're getting Lantern, Supergirl, and we're getting Clayface year from now, right? So we're getting 3 in the next year.
September 11th.
That's good.
Yep.
Okay. Wow. He has been answering a lot of fans online, asking him questions. The one thing I saw, can you clarify the finale, how it sets up Man of Tomorrow? And he said, where Chris is at the end, what's happening between the government and the metahumans, Rick and Lex's new partnership, all of their decision to do what they did is part of the future, Man of Tomorrow, and so much more. And we already knew that going out of this. And the big thing revealed today that there was a scrapped Deadpool crossover that Ryan Reynolds actually wanted to do it, but just it took too many hurdles with Disney and to get that approved. But and the big line at the end of the podcast today is you'll see them again and not too long. In other words, we'll be seeing them fairly soon, whether it be a new series, continuation is Man of Tomorrow, which a lot of people are speculating. But
some of them might pop up in Lanterns for all we know. Who knows?
Lanterns,
because if they're investigating something on Earth, then Checkmate might get involved there.
Right? Yeah. Interesting time for the DCU. I've said it from the beginning. From Superman, I love to see this universe. Getting little glimpses of it. I wish we'd see more, of course, but little glimpses of this universe has been great, and of course the multiverse of it, we've seen not just this universe but other universes too. So much to open up here, and like you said, the creatives coming in telling these stories is going to be what's going to give the heart of this DCU, I believe, going forward too. So very exciting time for DC. So we'll see where it goes. And that's checkmate right there with all the new members. And Titties, biggest surprise of
Titties,
all, stayed
yeah.
with Arcus after
Yep.
watching all of her friends die. Stayed with Rick Flag Sr. So it's Titties versus everyone. Cannot wait for however this continues, but we'll talk about that later. Gen V episode 6. I believe there's only 8 episodes of this
Yeah,
series
there is. Yep.
season, so I got 2 more left. And you're seeing a lot more about Marie, and how she's gonna kind of like they kind of mention her being like the sister to Homelander, the two that survived all of the experiments to kind of make who they are. And Giancarlo Esposito, of course, Gus from Breaking Bad, he was in the show in the earlier seasons, shows up. Father to Victoria Newman, who also had a similar power to Marie, shows up in this episode. Is setting up what's going to be a finale going forward, and probably a continuation into the next season of The Boys as well. I'm not sure where Marie's going to fit into that, or the other cast members of this. Not really sure, because The Boys is the end of The Boys, but I'm not sure where this universe goes from here. If there'll be a Gen V season 3, who knows? But I like the show. I enjoy it. I love The Boys universe. So a couple more episodes left, should end around Halloween. So we'll talk about that then. I gonna be honest with you, Monster. I know you watched the whole thing, the Ed Gain story. I made it one episode. I couldn't watch anymore. It was very, very slow. I told you that.
It wasn't very slow.
It's not my cup of tea, really, and I'm not sure if I'm going to go back and watch it. But I know you gave your feelings on online about it. But how overall, what were your thoughts?
It was enjoyable. Charlie Hunnam was great in it. They took a lot of liberties with the story, and they gave him like this girlfriend type deal, which, like, yes, he did like know this woman, but it wasn't like they portrayed it in the show, from what I've been told.
Right.
But yeah, overall, I enjoyed it. Each of these seasons have been so different from the others, so it's really hard for me to rank them. But I do think the Dahmer one is by far the best and most interesting. I also think he's the most interesting story of the 3 they've told so far.
Right.
As far as what he did. Because like Ed Gain's interesting from the standpoint that like so much has been in pop culture has been from his story. But the Dahmer stuff was just a little bit more interesting. And the Menendez one was cool, but it wasn't like, I don't know, I like serial killer stuff, so.
Right, yeah. And all of these movies that are based off of him are some of your favorite movies.
Exactly.
I mean, Chainsaw, and Leatherface, and like all of that is up your alley.
Psycho,
so it makes perfect sense. Psycho, yeah. So, I'm probably not gonna watch it, but I know I did watch a documentary about his life, his real life, a couple of days ago on YouTube. There's a 2-hour documentary.
Yeah, there's a couple of them. Yeah.
But I did watch a couple of documentaries. One I'm going to talk about more in depth next week, but I did watch the Ozzy documentary earlier in the week, No Escape from Now. It's on Paramount Plus. This was filmed the last 6 years of his life, up until that big concert that happened back in July, and then 2 weeks later he passed away. The only difference, why I think it's supposed to come out in early September, they delayed it because they wanted to add the footage of the funeral procession. When Ozzy died in the end of July, they wanted to add that into the end of the documentary. That was the only big difference that they added in, and they took some more time editing it and stuff. But it's heartbreaking to see, just because 6 years ago when he first started falling, he had a bad fall, went in, had some spinal surgery, and it fucked him up bad. And he went in a couple times for surgery, and every time he'd come out, it was worse and worse, to the point where at the end he couldn't even walk. And when he did the performance back in July, he was in the throne, and when he was in the Hall of Fame last year, he was in the throne. He couldn't even perform at the Hall of Fame, and that took a mental toll on him. And he wanted to say goodbye to the fans, and that's pretty much the story of this documentary, is him saying goodbye to the fans and coming up with this concert, the big, huge, metal, gigantic concert that happened in July that I high praise about a couple months ago. But documentary is very, very good. And it's on Paramount Plus, and it just seemed like it was too short, though. That's the only gripe I have with it. It just seemed like there was a lot cut from it, and it was just streamlined really quickly. But overall, great documentary. But the one that I'm going to be talking about next week, because I only watched half of it, a little bit more than
And I
half.
want to watch it too. Sorry.
Yeah, we'll talk about it next week.
Yeah.
And I have a ton of notes already, and I'm already up to Splash and Vacation, where he got his big breakthrough United States roles, what made him a star. And that's about an hour in, so there's still a lot to go. But I like me, the John Candy story. It's on Prime. Anybody wants to watch it, we'll talk about it next week. But it is fucking fantastic. The first hour, and because I love SNL, but I love the SCTV stuff, Second City stuff, and that's what the whole first hour is about. And the amount of people that come from that, we'll get into it all next week. But Harold Ramis right in the front of that, and of course, big huge writer, brings all of his friends into Hollywood, and that's kind of where Stripes happens. We'll get into all of that next week, but it's fantastic so far. Directed by Colin Hanks, brings in a lot of famous people, probably the most famous people I've ever seen in a documentary. And I have a feeling it's probably going to be one of my favorite documentaries ever when we talk about it next week, but it is very, very good. It's on Prime if you want to watch it. John Candy, I Like Me, just came out today, so it's very good. And we are in October, and we have some Halloween movies we're going to talk about. First one is Smile 2. I watched Smile 1 last week. Smile 2, not as good as Smile 1.
No.
The only thing about this girl that I remember, she was in Power Rangers. She played the Pink Ranger in the bad Power Ranger movie.
Yep.
Other than that,
she was Jasmine in Aladdin too, wasn't she?
Jasmine in Aladdin, yes.
Yeah.
That's the last time I saw her, and I did not like that movie.
Yeah, this movie, Smile 2 I fucking love the opening with Kyle Gallner.
Yes.
Who, by the way, is fan casting himself. Yes, who, by the way, is fan casting himself as Green Arrow again on Twitter today.
Interesting.
But yeah,
Okay.
after that opening scene in Smile 2, I'm good on the rest of that movie. Which happened basically. I watched it this week, and I just picked up a comic after the opening and just read a comic while it kind of played in the background.
You know who I
didn't like
who I love in this? You know who I didn't like the ending at all. I'll talk about that in a minute. But you know who I loved in this movie?
Jack Nicholson's
Ray Nicholson.
Yeah.
I want to see him in more stuff because his smile is just like Jack's. And there's a point where in this movie he dies earlier in the movie. She is in a car accident a year ago, and then she goes into drugs, and the whole thing happens. That's a whole part of the story. But and she sees like glimpses of him, ghostly images of him, and she's in it was like a Hollywood award show or something, getting an award. And she sees him coming out of the audience and big, huge smile on his face. He turns around, big, huge smile on his face. I love that scene. I love the flashback scene of the accident with him.
Yeah.
And I also like the kid who was the drug dealer in the beginning of the movie, which you see him in a whole bunch of shit. I believe he's in Sandman recently.
Yeah.
He's been in a bunch of shit. I like him too.
Yeah. I mean, once you get to the end, like, it's a fun and entertaining movie until you get to the end. And I think knowing the ending, I just didn't really care to even watch most of it again. I just had it on the background. Yeah.
It's horrible. The ending's horrible. We talked about it last week, but you watch somebody die and you take on the spirit of the demon. And she ends up killing herself in front of a huge audience of a stadium. So Smile 3 would mean that everybody that was in that stadium now has the curse, I guess.
Yep.
Okay. They kind of a cheap way of going into it, but yeah, overall not as good as the first one. Not even touching on the first one. I love the horror element of the first one so much. This one I did not like. I didn't care for it at all. It didn't have the same feel as the first one to me. But a lot of people did love it. I saw the Rotten Tomatoes was like 80-something%. I was like, wow.
Yeah.
This should have been way lower than that. But yeah. But a movie I did love. And this is a classic. Yes. Everybody says it's a great horror movie on the top of their list. It's so much more than that. It's like action horror. It's They Live.
Yeah.
With Roddy Piper.
And
right in the middle of Roddy
David,
Piper.
Or is it David Keith?
Yeah, Keith David too.
Yeah.
Great in this. Who's been in everything after this. But,
yeah.
The lines that come out of this movie are crazy. This is was this written by John Carpenter too, or just directed?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I have no idea.
Yeah, you see, there's the bubblegum line, and then there was another line. Like, 20 minutes later, and I was like, that one might be better than the bubblegum one. And I forget
Right.
what he said, but
That's
yeah.
that's what I was thinking too. There's so many lines coming out of this movie that are just like, I'm sure if you're a fan of it, but basically what it is aliens have invaded Earth and nobody knows it, and except for this group of like militants that
Yep.
that all know about it, and they come up with this chemical to put on some sunglasses, where you put the glasses on and you can see the real truth going on in America, where all the billboards, instead of them being billboards for items, they say obey or stay or sleep, or they kind of like hypnotizing people on Earth what to do. And these aliens are in control. They're higher up. They're rich. But yeah, it's a great fucking movie. It's probably like a 4 out of 5 for me.
Yeah.
It was great. And it's one of those movies I just cannot believe I haven't seen it till now.
I know. It's a great one. I saw it.
Yeah.
I saw it for the first time a few years ago, which I told you last week.
Yeah,
So,
crazy.
yeah,
Waited so long. It seemed like something I would have loved when I was younger.
Something I should have seen when I was 7 or 8 years old.
Right.
Yeah.
We should have been in that. But yeah, great movie. I love that. And next week we have another good movies that we're going to talk about. We'll get into that at the end. But until then, let's get into the news. And it's not news. I'm going to let the trailer around it. A couple of pretty good trailers this week. We got the final trailer for Predator Badlands. Comes out in, I think, just about a month, a little bit less than a month. More story of this predator being chased down on this planet. Not sure where this is going to lead to, but a lot of praise for people that have seen it. I know Kevin Smith.
Yeah, people say it's really good, right? But
yeah,
I saw a lot of people saying online they don't like the fact that it's going to be PG-13.
Yep, this is the first one. It's PG-13, but yeah. You'll have to wait and see. Who knows? But it's. I hope it's not Disney-fied. That'd be
right.
That'd
Exactly.
Be bad, but we'll have to wait and see. A great documentary. I think this is gonna be good at the end of the month. Downey wrote that. This is about Jim Downey, who was a writer on Saturday Night Live from 1976 to, I believe, recently, like the last 10 years. He finally left, and he came back for the 50th anniversary. But if you saw him, you may recognize him. He was in Billy Madison. He's been in a bunch of stuff. But Jim Downey, he was friends with everybody on the cast. Most notably, he was huge friends with Norm Macdonald. And a lot of the stuff that Norm, they kind of have a similar comedic. And I think he was in Dirty Work too. He was in Dirty Work. Yeah, he was one of the. In fact, he was the poor guy sitting out in front of the. Yes, that was him, Jim Downey. But he's huge friends with Norm, and I think he's the one that got fired with Norm during the OJ thing.
He did, yeah, because he was writing.
And he was the one that wrote. Wrote all the OJ jokes. So this documentary coming out on Peacock at the end of the month, October 17th, actually next week. All about Jim Downey, which I cannot wait for. Talking about the amount of cast members that he's been in orbit of. Just in this time with Saturday Night Live is going to be amazing. So, I can't wait to watch that. It's going to be on Peacock. So, we'll talk about it in a couple weeks, maybe next week, probably a couple weeks. But this trailer, I don't know if you had a chance to see this, but a movie called Playdate.
I did not.
With Kevin James and Alan Ritchson. This is Paul Blart meets Reacher. That's exactly what the trailer reminded me of, too. It's on Prime. It's gonna be on Prime on November 12th. Direct to video. This is like Prime is like, or debuting on Prime is like the direct to video used to be.
Basically, yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I'll probably watch it because I love Alan Ritchson.
Yeah, I like Kevin James.
And even
too,
and I like Kevin James too. And I'm not. I like the Paul Blart movie. It's just not a great movie, but I like him. I like King of Queens too. So he's fun.
I like King of Queens too. Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll see. I'm gonna watch it. We'll talk about it. This trailer looks great. I think we talked about it a while ago. Called Mercy. Starring Chris Pratt, and he's the creator of this AI that becomes the judge, jury, and executioner of the world. And he's actually the one that creates it. And then he gets framed for a murder, and he has 90 minutes to tell this AI, artificial intelligence, all of the facts to prove his innocence. He has to get below like 90%. of the guilty rate, and he has to come up with proof of evidence, camera footage, where his was alibis, and he only has 90 minutes to do it. And if he doesn't do it, he ends up being executed immediately. This comes out in theaters on January 23rd. And it also stars Rebecca Ferguson, who's in the Mission Impossible movie. She plays the AI in this. Trailer looks fantastic, and it looks like it's filmed. It's filmed in like a 3D world, so they're promoting 3D with this as well, and IMAX. Looks like it'll look really good on the big screen. So, yeah, Chris Pratt movies though,
Hit or
there's
miss.
a lot of hit or miss with him, except for the big budget ones. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see. I don't know if you saw the trailer for this series coming out called Death by Lightning.
No, I
But
didn't.
the reason I'm bringing it up is because Michael Shannon is playing President James Garfield.
Mm-hmm.
And I know James Garfield was one of the presidents, I believe, that was assassinated. So I'm not sure if this is a story of that or what the story is about, but it's a 4-episode series coming out on Netflix on November 6th. They did have the trailer come out about it. Yeah, this looks good. Like Nick Offerman's in that. There's another big star in this. I can't remember, but looks really, really good. It looks dark. It looks like a dark historical drama. So yeah, I'll have to wait and see. But the big trailer this week, I know you're looking forward to very much.
Yes.
So is Duncan Egg, the Night of the Seven Kingdoms.
Yep.
And we got a brand new trailer for that, premiering in January.
That little bald kid is Daenerys' great grandfather.
Okay.
Also, Maester Aemon's older brother, Egg, or younger brother.
Okay.
One of his
That's
brothers.
right, you
Remember
told me
that?
that
Remember
before.
he passed on the throne, and
Yep.
and his dying words on the show were him dreaming about his brother Egg. Yeah, I can't wait for this. It's going to be awesome. I've heard it's the best thing that George R.R. Martin has written as far as his books go.
Okay.
So yeah, I can't wait. I do have the audio book, so I'll probably start getting into that soon.
It seems like 6 episodes, 30 minutes apiece.
That's a lot. I think that's a joke because of every time the show comes out. I'm pretty sure that's a joke. Because that news came out the same day that everyone found out Stranger Things is going to be like 2 hours long every episode.
Yeah,
and
I
then,
had that in the
Peacemaker
news. That's crazy.
was announced as being an hour long that week when every other episode was ranging from 30 to 40 minutes.
Right.
So I'm pretty sure it's a joke because what HBO show has been less than like 40 minutes per episode?
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Because it's an HBO show. It's not, I think it's an HBO show. It's not as
It is.
direct to
It's
Max.
a Max.
Yes.
It's an HBO Max show. It says, but yeah, who knows? Says it won't feature dragons or magic. Set 50 years after the death of the last dragon. Yeah, it's kind of going to be like 14th century medieval Britain is what they're saying. So,
Sounds
yeah,
awesome.
excited to see that. And new Game of Thrones House of Dragon was it next year or the year after? Next summer?
I think it comes out this comes out in like January. I think
January 18th.
I think it comes out in the fall. So I think the fall.
Cool. That'd be cool. Last weekend's box office. Taylor Swift, number 1. $33 million for this preview of her album that came out the same day. Number 2, One Battle After Another, $11.1 million. And number 3, The Smashing Machine, $6 million, considered a failure. Rock actually went online and defended it and defended his performance in the movie itself. A lot of people are loving the movie. It's just, I think a lot of people have a bad taste in their mouth with The Rock. I'm not sure if it's the stuff behind the scenes with Black Adam that did it.
In general, One Battle After Another is considered like one of the best movies of all time, people are saying, and that movie hasn't killed it either in the box office. It's done but like it's I don't know. I don't know if UFC is as universally like it's not like how many MMA movies? Yeah, how many MMA movies have done really well? Like Warrior didn't do that good either.
Right.
So I just think it's that type of thing. People just aren't going to the movies like they used to either.
Yeah. But Taylor Swift, number 1, had the number 1 album last week, 2.7 million copies in the first day last Friday, which is incredible for an artist nowadays. Second biggest tally for an album's first week ever, and I think she's the number 1 in the first week ever before that. So it's crazy. Or maybe Adele was. I can't remember who it was. But Overall, the movie opened to $46 million worldwide. So she is a box office draw.
Mm-hmm.
She's a music draw and she's a box office draw, which is crazy. And that's why there's always that talk. Every time there's a new X-Men movie or a Deadpool movie, Dazzler, her playing the Dazzler would have been huge, blah, blah, blah.
Because she's also
because of that.
she's really good friends with Ryan Reynolds, too. So
Yeah. And he's like I mentioned with The Rock, as you can't control the box office results. Truth is, the film changed his life. So he's giving high praise to the director, the movie, and everything. So
Rock's always done a good job selling. Like the Black Adam stuff, him promoting it didn't piss me off. It's all the stuff that happened behind the scenes because of him and his.
So we found out later.
Yeah,
we found out later.
Yep.
Wicked for Good tickets went on sale. They have a preview on the 17th, which is like a week before the movie opens. Fandango exclusive. The same thing happened with Superman. Fandango exclusive coming out. Best first day ticket seller of the year. Top 10 best first day ticket sellers of all time on Fandango, and top PG rated first day ticket seller of all time on Fandango. I got some brand new posters for that as well. And yeah, it's going to be huge. Also got some brand new popcorn buckets and merchandise out of the theaters coming out. It's going to be the biggest moneymaker of the year, probably, just from the last month or two that it's out. So the end of the year, I'm excited for it. So cannot wait to talk about it in a couple months. But also announced finally that Dogma coming out on DVD and 4K. Also going to be coming out in streaming in this cool deluxe set with a whole bunch of stuff coming out. I believe this may be exclusive to Jay and Silent Bob's Secret Stash, the comic book store. You go online, you can find that. But also coming out on digital sometime in November, I believe. I don't have the exact date here, but the box set looks awesome. But yeah, I cannot wait to have this in 4K. I know a lot of people are praising the transfers, so I cannot wait. I cannot wait to talk about this. Kevin, what do you notice about these two pictures here? What's the big difference?
They took the gun away.
Amazon took the gun away. The picture on the left is the current picture of what's on, I believe, on iTunes and Amazon Prime. When you look up a lot of the 007, I'm not sure if they put them back or not, but last week they took all of the guns out of the promotional art for the posters for these movies. Dr. No is one of them. As you can see, the original had the gun in it, but these are all of what they looked like. View to a Kill, Spectre, they actually cut the guns out. GoldenEye, they cut it out completely and they replaced it with a hoagie, which I love when they put memes into this these articles too. So yeah, this took over the storm. A lot of people are complaining about them doing that, and I believe they actually ended up putting the guns back into the promotional of the posters and stuff. But yeah, crazy. Joining the cast of the Beatles movies, Saoirse Ronan joining the cast as Linda McCartney, who was a big part of the later on years of the Beatles, of especially the Wings band with Paul, and of course she was a photographer who she ended up having cancer and she passed away later on, but a big huge part of his early career. So exciting to see where those movies go. It's just more than one movie, it's 4 movies. So Wordle, you ever play Wordle?
I used to, yeah.
I still play from time to time. It's going to be a game show on NBC starring Jimmy Fallon. He's going to be producing it. I don't know how this is going to work on television. It's a very quick game. Yep. One person, kind of like a solitaire game. But yeah,
I like the film version way more. Where they give you a photo from a random movie and you have like 5 guesses to get it. That's more my speed than Wordle. But I mean, I can see this working as a game show. But like you said, it's like a quick thing. So I don't know. Yeah. But Jimmy Fallon's hosting this, and he's doing another one for Peacock. I just saw the ad for it too. Some game show for them. So we'll see.
He's done a bunch of stuff. Yeah. Anything. The thing about Jimmy Fallon, say what you will about him as a host, he knows the internet. He knows what people like, and he definitely knows how to make money off of it. And maybe this will work, maybe it won't. I don't know. But speaking of making money, they announced kind of unceremoniously that Minecraft 2 is happening on July 23rd of 2027, opening up against The Simpsons movie 2.
Mhm.
which was just announced last week. So they're going to be going 1-on-1 again. Another Barbieheimer type of thing going on, I guess. I don't know. But didn't see the first Minecraft. I love Jack Black, but I love the game too. When I played it 15 years ago when it was big, huge back then, I did love the game, but I just no interest in that movie after
Mhm.
everything that happened with the kids running amok in the theater. That just no, I don't care. As you mentioned, Stranger Things, all the titles of the episodes released, 8 episodes total, and coming out in 3 volumes on Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's Eve. And all of the episodes are averaging 1.5 hours to 2 hours in length. Full movie length, 8 up. I mean, you're talking 16 hours of
Yep.
fucking show to finish up the story of Stranger Things season 5.
Yep.
I cannot wait. I love Stranger Things,
I think
but that's
they
a lot to watch, and I'm glad they're separating it out.
yeah. I'm glad they're separating it. I think they missed the boat to do release the first batch on Halloween, then Thanksgiving, and then Christmas. That would have been cool.
That would
But,
have been great. Yeah.
But we're getting them all within a month basically, so it is what it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, it
Lots
should be
to
good.
watch,
But
though.
it's definitely good that they're breaking it up like that, though, because you're basically, if you get 3 episodes at a time or whatever, 2 to 3,
Yeah.
then you're basically watching an entire seasons of most shows in just those 3 episodes with the runtime. So
We'll have to wait and see. Hopefully that's good. But another thing we're going to wait and see in a couple of weeks, only a couple of weeks from now. Welcome to Derry. Welcome to Derry. Got some brand new posters for that. More of these retro posters that look awesome. These, a whole collection of these on the wall would look really, really cool. Especially these ones in particular. They're just like retro, something you would see
If
at
you
a
get 'em,
grocery store ad.
on metal, like my Geek Boy,
Oh yeah,
that'd be
oh
awesome.
yeah. That'd be awesome. Yeah. But yeah, I'm
Maybe,
excited to see that
Do
in
it
a
through
couple
that
of weeks. I
Tiles
think.
company.
Yeah, that'd be cool. A couple of weeks, I believe. I'm not sure the exact
26th.
date.
26th.
Okay, yeah, exactly 2 weeks from Sunday. Very excited for that. Speaking of exciting, Dark Side of the Ring officially renewed for a 7th season on Vice.
Yep.
And like I mentioned with the Metal documentary, I hope they release it on Hulu like they did with that, because that was awesome. And not having to hunt it down or buy it on iTunes would be cool. So Dark Side of the Ring coming back. Always say at the end of every season, what other wrestlers' stories could they tackle? We always come up with a list of stuff they haven't tackled yet. So it'll be interesting to see going forward. But,
I can't wait to see what they do this season. So
yeah. Also officially renewed for season 2 on Paramount
Thank
Plus,
God.
Dexter Resurrection.
Thank God.
Michael C. Hall actually went online and announced it, so excited for that. And we got the first glimpses of Albus Dumbledore filming Harry Potter with John Lithgow playing Albus Dumbledore. Yeah, very exciting. A lot of people are asking, why is this series happening? Because Harry Potter makes a ton of money, and they could tell a long form story and get into a lot more stuff than they couldn't do in the movie, in a 2-hour movie, in an 8-hour story. So that's why, and I'm excited. I'm all for it. I think the casting so far, and even the looks, has been very, very similar to the movies, but you got to remember, the kids that grew up on these have probably already they're going to be watching this series, have already seen the movies.
With their kids, probably.
Right. So they're going to want to see something familiar, and they're not going to want to change that too much. So I'm guessing Hogwarts will be the same. A lot of the stuff will be the same, just different actors playing it. So yeah, we'll have to wait on that. Let's get into some swag.
Swag. Stuff we all get.
Come on, son. You know that's right.
McFarlane all in on the Avatar movie, the new one coming out in December. Some brand new Avatar figures of all the blue people. Got a brand new pop figure for Night Owl. We talked about Watchmen all month last month. We got a brand new pop figure for that. And Mondo coming out with a Daredevil from the Spider-Man series, which looks awesome. I love the way Mondo does their animated figures. I've said that before, but they look incredible. And it comes with a Matt Murdock head sculpture. It comes with, of course, all of the hands and the helmets and his weapon. I don't know what they call that weapon that Daredevil has, but looks really, really cool. But I love the Mondo figures. The Venom one and the Carnage one look great. But
yeah,
Currently going on New York Comic Con. We'll talk about it more next week. There's a trailer that debuted today. I don't have any screenshots from it, but Wonder Man trailer debuted today. Looks really good. But we did see a glimpse of some Deadpool. Daredevil Born Again Season 2 archive stuff from Fogwell's gym set up there. Little thing set up there with some wanted posters for the Punisher. Vote Fisk posters for Mayor Fisk. So setting up whatever Season 2 is going to be. I know there's a panel tomorrow talking about Marvel TV. We're going to be talking more about this. So also coming back to filming this week, Tom Holland came back for Spider-Man after injuring himself. And we see the first glimpse of the character who plays, I don't know his name off the top of my head, who plays Scorpion in... Yeah, he played Scorpion in Homecoming. I don't remember the actor's name, but did come back and going to be playing a bigger role, of course, in this movie. So, surprisingly, that's it for the show. That's it for news. And next week we're Peacemaker list, so there's not a lot to talk about what we watched. Gen V episode 7, penultimate episode. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about the John Candy documentary. If you want to watch it, it's on Amazon Prime. Watch along with us, and we'll talk about it in depth next week. But the Halloween movies for next week, we got a classic that I have never watched. You've never watched. We came up with The Lost Boys, 80s movie. Corey Feldman.
It's like right up my alley. I have no idea why I didn't watch this growing up either.
Right. This reminds me a lot of like The Crow. Like it's kind of like everything that we both love about stuff like this. The Lost Boys. We're gonna watch that. And another movie we waited purposely for October to watch. Together. With James Franco's brother, Dave Franco, and his wife in real life who was in Community. I can't remember her name off the top of my head, but they star in it. Just came out digitally a couple months ago, maybe a month ago. We're going to talk about that and review it. Other than that, not too much more. Maybe I know there are some new movie releases. We'll talk off pod and see if there's anything we want to review that's new that came out. I can't even think off the top of my head what's out right now, but I guess that's it. Thanks everyone for listening, and we will talk to you then. Peace.
We're the Geek Blurb crew, here to enlighten you, talking all things geeky, from movies to wrestling to our podcast is the place where you want to be for all the latest news and nostalgia from the 80s and 90s. We review comic book flicks and sci-fi hits, riding the wave of action movies with all the cool bits. From Iron Man to Star Wars, we cover it all. And when it comes to wrestling, we never drop the ball. Geek Blurb, we're the kings of the nerds, rating movies and pineapples, our opinions never blurred. Join us each week for a geeky chat, the latest scoop and a dose of nostalgia that. So if you're a fan of the comic book craze, or a lover of sci-fi and all its maze, tune in to Geek Blurb. We're here to entertain, bringing you the best in geek